Today on the debate show, we will be debating transgender. We have Sean, Gloria, and Maddie for it. And we have Tanner, Travis, and myself against it. To begin today's debate, we will start with Maddie Green on the pro.
So I think we can agree that God designed us the way we are, obviously. But I think, some people are born with this mental illness where they are just not happy with themselves, and in their mind they think that they're the opposite gender, which makes them want to change that.
Alright, well, I think it's their choice because they alter their bodies to become homosexual, and it's not a mental disorder, it's just they wake up one day and choose to be that way.
Okay, so if you're saying it's a choice, then what's wrong with that? Because in America, we were granted freedoms and rights such as religion, rights to vote, and rights to alter our
In America, and we have the rights to do what we want. The majority of people don't want to see that, the transgender people in public, so it's just their opinion, and it's not right.
Well, times are changing, and they're legalizing gay marriage, and you see celebrities walking around being transgender. So.
Okay, well, I think that God designed us to be who we are in His own image, and that we are all perfect in His eyes. In Genesis, it says that God made man in His image. The maleness and femaleness are part of being the image of God. Okay, another claim, the Bible says that sexual gender is cursed, and in Deuteronomy it says, "A woman shall not wear a man's clothing, nor shall a man put on a woman's clothing, for whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord your God."
But even though you said that not everybody believes in the same religion, and you say that God created the people how He wanted them to be created, but maybe some people don't like the way they look, so they decide to alter themselves.
Well, also, anybody can change what's on the inside or on the outside, but it really matters what's on the inside, and I don't think that can ever be changed just by what others see on the outside.
Regardless of what you look like on the outside, God still looks at what you look like on the inside, and your body is still beautiful either way, like even if you alter it or you don't alter it.
We're in America, and we have the rights to do what we want. The majority of people don't want to see that, the transgender people in public, so it's just their opinion, and it's not right.
Even though whenever you get your surgery, your body, or you'll never be 100% of the other gender. Like, your mom will tell you you're a female. If you're a male, your mom will tell you you're a female, but your body tells you that you're a male. Like, you'll be 6'7" and be a female. Like, your mind's telling you what you are, but your body is telling you otherwise.
I think it's the body is telling you, not so much the mind, because in their mind they think that they are a woman. That's why they get the surgery to be a woman, because they feel like one on the inside. Yeah, they'll still have the physical features of a man because that's how they were born.
Basically, you get to experience both sides. There's the female perspective and there's the male perspective, and I guess changing your gender or altering your body could be a positive.
I just still look back at it that, you're perfect in God's eyes, and I just don't understand the desire of switching, because, God made you for who you are.
As a Christian, like if you're a Christian and you want to alter your body, then God plants that desire in your heart to do so.
But God says that is a sin, and I don't really believe that He would put that desire into you if He sees it as bad.
God puts free will in your mind. He doesn't put the desire in you to switch. He puts that free will for you to have a choice. But He doesn't want you to switch your body, but it's your choice. He doesn't choose for you to have it.
Okay, some doctors have confirmed that they have this illness in their brain that when they are born, they feel the other gender. It may be some choice, but it has been confirmed that there is something wrong with these people and they can't.
That kind of goes back to like being born gay. Myself, I don't believe that you're born gay. I believe that whenever you grow up, you get, a desire to change and be gay. I don't believe that you were born.
But you couldn't make me kiss a girl. Ever. I don't think ever.
It's a choice.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you couldn't make me, so I think that you have to be born that way or else you wouldn't feel that desire.
It's a
Like,
choice.
some
You
people
can't be born.
don't know, though, till later in life. You can be married to a woman and get divorced and then become gay. That happens all the time.
Well, if that happens, then I don't believe that you're born with it. If you've been married to a girl, and then I feel like you get this feeling or a desire that you do want to change. I don't think that you've been born with it and finally figure it out 20 years later.
That's like some people being bisexual, but it's the same deal as being gay. Like, they're born that way and they like both kinds. I don't know how else to explain it. That's just what I think.
In my life, I've seen children who show signs of the opposite gender, like a little boy who's given trucks to play with and he chooses a Barbie, or a girl who's given Barbies to play with and she chooses the truck.
I feel like in that situation, that like you don't know the difference. I guess like maybe you don't. Maybe it's like you have an older sister and you're like the younger brother. You see the sister playing with the Barbies or whatever. Maybe he thinks that's yeah, that's what I'm supposed to play with. So
Well, some of these children are old enough to know better, and they notice things, and they still choose.
I think most transgender people, before they even do the operation, they know what they're getting into and what the consequences are going to be. And they either don't have the desire to have children or they will end up adopting kids like most gay couples do. So I think they know what they're doing before they do it.
Transgender people decide to have this surgery, their body parts decide to quit working, and they whittle down to a 1% chance of having a blood-borne child. Like, their best hope of having an actual child is adoption instead of having their fully owned blood-borne child. I feel like I would rather have a blood-borne child instead of an adopted child.
Okay, well, some transgender people, like, they know what they're getting into before they do the actual procedure, and some may not even want kids in the first place. They'd rather be happy with the way they are and adopt a child, because adopting, never mind, I don't know where I was going with that.
that like whenever you get the desire or whatever to be transgender, I don't think that like you actually think it all through. Like, I feel like you go through counseling, have researched, but I don't feel like your mindset is right, because this is what you want to do, but I don't think that you think about the outcome or
You don't see what kind of effect it would have on your family or your kids if you already had some. You don't see what kind of effect it would have on them.
It's a selfish decision.
But I don't think that most transgender people 30 years down the road are going to say, wow, I shouldn't have done that, I'm not happy with myself. They wouldn't have done it if they weren't. And there's like procedures out there where you can still have children without being pregnant on your own. There's like in vitro, and there's surrogate mothers, and then there's always adoption. And so I feel like these people know what they're doing before they have the surgery, because they might think about that later on, but there's other ways to have children, and they do it all the time.
Just think about the family. They brought a boy or a girl into the world, and that's how it was supposed to be. Not to change that. How would a family look at you the same? They just judge you as the old person.
Emily, like, they are the people that brought you into the world, but they're supposed to love you through everything, regardless of the decisions that you make.
I don't think it's necessarily a selfish decision because your family's going to accept you no matter what you do, and it's not something like suicide that
You can't take back.
and you're not. Well, you can't.
They might accept you.
You can't
but
take.
They might accept you, but they won't love you the same. I don't feel like they won't love you the same as what they originally brought you into this world to be.
But if you desire to be the opposite gender, then I feel like your family shouldn't question that. I mean, that's your own personal desire. I mean, I don't.
I mean, I've had personal experiences where I have family members who have had this surgery and their family was disowning him.
Sorry.
His family was disowning him so bad that he actually had to move down to Florida and start a new life and get away from his family. His family won't even talk to him anymore.
But if he's happy that way, I don't know why they would disown him. Just like if you're gay, this isn't an unforgivable sin. I mean, the only unforgivable sin is blasphemy of God. And, I mean, we all sin differently, and I don't see how your mom or your dad could just shut you out of their lives just because you desire to be another gender.
Because you didn't give them a say in the choice. They gave them a say in the choice. Like, you didn't help them understand what you wanted, and that's why they choose to disown you.
I don't think if you were doing this surgery and it was going to change your life forever, I feel like you would have that conversation with your family and you would make them understand and they would be there for you, because I know my parents, I could never do anything that would ever make them stop loving me.
Family.
Is that all?
I mean, that's just.
Are we
deep.
done?
I was like,
I think that concludes today's debate. Join us back tomorrow for a new topic.